Hello. At least I hope someone's out there. Quindy's probably... There's Quindy. I already have Snuggle Kitty. She was yelling for pets right before we started. So I might have to change up where I was going to go initially. Hey, Clavicus. I mean, go with the show, not like literally go. Hopefully that's not turning into one of those throat days. So I hope you're all doing well, had a good weekend, aren't suffering too much winter weather, all that good stuff. Hi, I'm Turjon, and thank you for subscribing. We really appreciate that. Nico, and also saying hi to Katie, and Pendrake is saying hi to Katie, and Katie is doing that thing that she does. Hey, right? You want to clean the whole world. I know. Walls and floors. And the other cat, you just don't even care. What's up? All right, well, I will do something. Thanks, Nico. I do think she's pretty adorable. She's my special little girl. She's very sweet. So we finally finished this guy last week. I do have some pictures. Will they work? Who knows? So my husband tried to fix the pictures again, but we'll find out whether that works or not. Clavicus says, my cat never gives kisses, only bites. This kitty does bite sometimes. I think mostly it's like cleaning bites, like she's trying to get the knots out. But sometimes I think it's to, you're not paying enough attention to what I'm asking you for, which is sometimes a mystery to figure out what she's asking me for. You don't always make a lot of sense, do you? You're not one of those cats who walks over to the empty bowl to tell me that your concern is the empty bowl. You just sort of swirl around saying, I have a concern, but you don't explain what the concern is. Our other cat, occasionally, if he bites us because he gets frustrated or angry that we want him to not do something, he like immediately feels bad and then gives you a little kiss. So it's kind of funny. And he doesn't bite hard. Like he's just, it's just a little, don't do that thing. So these are the goblins from the Quick Paint Goblin Kit, which I finally have a copy of. Woo. I think it took a little trip and didn't make it last week in time to zoom out. So this is one of the pillow packs, I think is what they call it. Grunico says one of ours gives you little nips when you fall asleep while stroking her. Yeah, because you're not doing your job. So she's got to get you back on the case. Clavicus, I swear mine laughs. She knows what she's doing. They are sometimes like we think the other one does understand a few words in English. Like there are a couple words that we've started spelling out. And just in case we spill out, we say WC usually for whipped cream because that's this one's favorite treat. And she has like some kind of psychic power of knowing when you might even just be thinking about putting whipped cream on something, and then she shows up in the kitchen. I'm not going to be doing this today. I do want to do this on the show. But since today is a particular day in the calendar, and I've been trying to be very thematic the past, few months with color painting that matches seasons and holidays and stuff, I'm going to go with pink for today. But this is, so you get 6 of these guys in there. I think it's 2 of each. Yeah, there's 2 axe guys. And then you get these colors. And then inside the paper, I actually haven't even cracked the paper open, I don't think. No, I have not, because the tape is still on. So that'll be harder for me to do right now. But if you unfold this in half, it's a paint guide. So it is very much a quick paint. It is not the equivalent to the Core Skills or Layer Up, because I have this much paper to show. So it's mainly just recipes and stuff. Pendrake asked, did they send me any heartbreak bread? They did, and I was planning to swatch it for you guys. I probably can do that around the tail. Let's see, where did I put it? So this is Heartbreak Red, which I think if for the month of February, if your package can accommodate a bottle of, a free bottle of paint, they put it in. So if you just buy one mini, I think that the package they have for that is too small to add paint to. And probably if you just buy one paint, the same thing. But if your package can accommodate it, Green just said our daughter's cat could say olive, one of his favorite treats. That doesn't sound like a completely unhealthy treat for a cat either. I could see why they would go for it, kind of salty. I'm going to put these goblins somewhere else. I think they're going to fall down and cause trouble. As goblins are wont to do. Alright, so I just have a thing that won't focus. There we go. Well, let's take a look at Heartbreak Red, and then I'll have some time to dry. So we can see the dried color. He would go to the refrigerator door. Yeah, I don't know how she knows. I used to think it was, okay, well, usually when I'm having whipped cream, it's like a bowl and a spoon noise. And then there's been a few times when I'm in the kitchen and that's, you know, we're planning to whip cream, but there's not the usual noises, and she still shows up. So it's like she has this very weird psychic power. Pretty limited in scope, but look a little, I'm trying to see if that looks a little dark on screen. So that is Heartbreak Red that I think would be useful for rust, and I like painting leather that color often. In fact, I think I ended up using this on the secret project that I can't show you guys right now. I can show you guys some colors from the secret project. Okay. You want to go down? There are colors. So these are just, I'm just trying to do little swatches of colors as I finish up various things on the secret project. So they're not necessarily all for the same miniature. Either, I'll say that. The secret project may not be just one miniature. But now I can go back to where I was going to start the show, which is, so we're going to talk about pink, because we already talked about red at Christmas, so we can't, I mean, I guess you can talk about red more than once, but it goes with this holiday. And this is probably sorry, I've got hair all over me now. This is probably the kind of thing you think about when you think about painting pink. And I know from going through, so I went through my shelves, and I pulled out a lot of paints for today, just because I wasn't sure exactly what I would use. But I tried to only pick things that are currently in production, so not special editions and not things that have been canceled. And there have been plenty of canceled pink, and I think that that's because a lot of times people will think of, well, if I only need to paint one or two princesses, how much pink do I need? So they're not interested in pink. But I think we're selling pink short, and I have some other things. So this one's for Quindy, but some things that some of the rest of you might enjoy there are also a lot of monsters where you can work pink in. And then this pink, this clear magenta, I didn't actually use this paint because I needed to start with a more opaque one for reasons. But there's a lot of that in this figure. So even though there's very little that's obviously pink on this guy, I used a lot of this color in painting him. So pink doesn't necessarily have to mean pretty princess. It's part of what I want to discuss on the show. And I do now have the article up for how I painted this guy. So if you go to my blog, that'll be the first article that's there, and you'll be able to see where the pink came in, because I have some work in progress pictures, and I included my colors for him. So, and I was trying some experiments with this. So there's also some information kind of, how I painted it. But also I tried a couple of experiments sort of off the cuff, and they didn't necessarily go that well. So I'm not unhappy with the figure, but the experiments maybe didn't turn out the way I'd hoped, or didn't work quite the way I'd hoped. And so I talk about that. I talk about that more in another post that this post links to, but your assessment when you're trying to study something, like if you watch somebody's video on how to layer, or you want to paint a miniature like they did, you're trying to match a color or something, your criteria for is this a success is different than it is, I'm just painting a miniature, I want it to look good. So does this mini look good to me? Good enough. Ron was happy, I'm happy, everybody's happy. Did the experiments that I was trying to do work? Not really. So those are two different things to assess. So when you're trying to practice skills or do stuff, you know, do tutorials that other people have had or whatever, that's something to keep in mind. There's slightly different mind process. Our Tufus says Rouge Rogues, and Kuruniko called him the Magenta Marauder. That's good. That should be a secret name. Magenta Marauder. I don't know that I'm going to use the clear magenta on any of these guys, and I do want to start getting some paint on them because it will take a while to dry. So let's briefly look. Let's see if the photos work or not. I made backups for myself. Can you guys see pink cloth? Because I think maybe that works. So that's kind of, if we're talking about painting Giselle, the human sorcerer, that's a color that might work for her dress. That's an example. That's a slightly pinker pink and more satiny.